With the release of the Super Mario Bros. Movie and the Oscar-nominated song Peaches, time to look at the mastery that Jack Black really has with his voice. And there's really not a better song to dive into than Master Exploder. Jack Black is amazing with placement, with his mixed voice, good musical sizzly grit, and he does it all from this place of freedom. I think one of the greatest reasons that Jack Black is so good is because he just doesn't care. It is all so completely ridiculous and just throw whatever's out there. You know, even if it says here, we wrote this song 10 minutes ago or whatever. Like, this is where we all need to get with our own voices. We need to be at a point where we're not taking ourselves seriously. We're not in striving mode. We're just like, I don't care. Whatever comes out is going to be better. And if we have that attitude and then go into singing, we're going to do a lot better than if we're all tense and tight because we're trying to do very specific things with our voice. So keep that in mind as we go in and explore what Jack Black's approach are here in this video. If you'd like more help pulling things out of your voice, singing freely, doing things like distortion, mixed voice, singing higher, but you'd like to approach it from a place of freedom and not frustration, click the link below and join my free voice course. Let's get into this. Okay, I'm going to be stopping a lot because there's a lot to point out. I realize that he's being a complete ham here. Just listen to how his tone changes. There's a clue here. As he changes his resonance, as he changes his tone a bit, he places his voice slightly differently to set himself up for going much higher. He's like, ah, right? And then watch what happens. Hear that? We're going, ah. I'm exaggerating it, but it went from that darker to that brasher, brighter sound. Now listen to what he does with it. This brash sound works. This placement works for going super high in mixed voice. This has a ceiling. He knows that if he moves his resonance around, he can posture his voice, he can get things in line so that his range becomes nearly limitless. There's grit there too.
Does not need a microphone. A microphone. My voice is fucking powerful.
I do not need. This is classic compression. We hear James Hetfield use it. We hear all, but he sounds a little bit like James Hetfield here, maybe. I do not need. No, I do. Lift your desk. Lift your desk, lift something really heavy. I do, and then try singing. I do not need. Just make sure that engagement that you have with your throat when you're holding the air back feels like it's as high as possible in your vocal tract. You don't want, I do not. We don't want that. We want, I do not need a microphone. And then he carries this up. Listen again.
Voice is fucking
Powerful! It's not just powerful. That's not powerful. He is not simply yelling till his voice distorts, though. He is finding those notes, getting them clean when he's practicing this, when anybody practices this well. Get the notes first. Powerful! And he's accessing those higher notes with that brash sound that I talked about earlier. Powerful! Then, Hold back the air. Put the distortion over the top of it. Pow! Powerful! Yeah!
My voice is fucking
Powerful! Long. Now even in that character right there. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! He is bouncing back and forth between different vocal characters. He arcs his phrases, and you can see it on his face. You can see it everywhere. He is free. He is not locked. That is a clean mixed sound. This is not head voice. As a lot of people might, when they're just trying to hit the note, do. But this is a mixed posture that he's getting from that bright sound he had earlier. Hit the note first, and then add a little bit more support, and then think, a lot of people call this twang. What I'm going to do is I'm going to think brasher, and a little bit more nasal, so I'm going to let the voice go through my nose. And then I'm gonna push with my support, and then it's gonna do that. Okay. Well, I must not have the right posture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a little bit lower. Get as brash as I possibly can. And then I'm gonna start just weeping like a little. So I'm in its brash chest voice, and then I'm making this sound that's causing not me to do this. I'm not sighing. I'm sort of whining. And then I'm going to hold on to that sensation that I get when I do that in this brash sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then as I go down, I'm going to darken it so that I separate these characters out and provide more nuance to my voice. That's what he's doing. He's just doing it very goofily. You hear guys like Chris Cornell do this really, really well.
sorry. I did not mean to blow your mind.
To blow your mind, blow your mind. Through the dark, it's not blow your mind, it's blow your mind.
But that shit happened to me all the time.
Ooh, that's cool. All the time. Hear him lightening his. He has that brash sound that he had earlier, but he's actually paring it back a little bit and then pushing into it. So there is an element of pure head voice there, but he's blending that approach with his mixed voice approach. I've done a lot of videos on mixed voice. I don't go to it as much here because we're getting through this video, but check out my playlist on mixed voice, linked in the description. There's a lot of E's going on. Just see, what do you see? Yeah! And then he opens up and he thins it out a little bit. He's really strategic with how he's doing things here. This note, he gets really engaged. That's a lower mix or higher chest note with compression. It joins his voice together in a way that it wouldn't without the compression. But then, they put delay on it and he goes, oh, yeah. as he opens his voice up there. It's interesting to hear how great singers do an equally good job of executing the techniques that they've practiced and also using their voice in ways that masks where they're not as good. And a lot of people are not as good on E vowels. It's harder to sing high and thick with an E vowel or an oo vowel. And so when he goes higher, he makes sure he's on a very open as opposed to that's harder, less sustainable. He saves those for the down there. Ooh, oh, yeah. Playing around like that. The open vowels are all high, and the more closed, difficult vowels are low. Yeah! So fun, but so educational at the same time, if you know what to look and listen for. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying the style of Jack Black with me. Again, if you'd like more help with your voice, pulling some of these things like mixed voice and grit, distortion out of your voice in a free way, click that link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.